Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CarterMatt.com.
This is our first viewing reaction to the Expanse Season 3, Episode 10, entitled Dandelion Sky. And we thought we would do something very interpretive. The entire video is just going to be us, just doing various expressions, and just doing that over and over again. It's like, what was this?
Yeah, I'm still like, what? It was intense. There was a lot happening, lots of confusion.
Yeah, this felt like the baby of the intersect from Chuck and A Clockwork Orange, just sort of put together.
Yeah.
And here we go. Random images of, is this the story of the Protomolecule? Is this the story of what's to come? A star is going kaboom.
Yeah, it feels like maybe we're getting some origin story here of the Protomolecule and what was happening.
Maybe. We'll talk about it, but before we do, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. Alright, so, okay, we just gotta talk about this first. I think one idea is this is the Protomolecule origin story. We at least saw kind of what looked to be all of its various activities since arriving into this solar system.
Yeah, and Miller said something, Proto-Miller, because it kind of is that. It's not really Miller. And,
yeah.
He kind of said something along those lines when he was like, oh, I'm Mozart and you're just a monkey kind of thing, that it felt a bit like the Protomolecule has been around a long time, that it's this older civilization, as it was kind of alluded to, and Earth and all these other different places are just not as old, the story isn't as deep as what's been going on with the Protomolecule and how long it's been around for.
Maybe it knows what is and what is also to come. Maybe it is sort of like all of the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future sort of rolled into one. And, I'm being silly, but at the same time, that exploding star, could that be eventually the sun?
Well, you're also not being silly, because I think there was a couple videos ago you were like, one ring to rule them all, and now here we are with a giant Protomolecule.
Okay, I did
ring.
not expect one literal ring to rule them all. That was not what I was going for, but here we are. I think it is. It could be prophetic in a way. It could be here to actually help to keep the sun from exploding someday. Maybe it knows something that we don't, or if it is sort of showing us flashbacks or showing Holden flashbacks to various things, maybe it has been somewhere before where there's been an exploding star and one of these other systems that it has somehow been to beforehand.
It's just really interesting that the person that the Protomolecule chose was Miller to be sort of this guide with him, because Holden and Miller have not had the greatest relationship. It hasn't been the worst, but they've kind of been a thorn in each other's side a little bit. So I know that the Protomolecule has to use what it has, and it has Miller. So it makes sense that that's how it is, but it's such a fun back and forth with these two, even though it's not exactly Miller. He's still in there. My guy's still in there.
He's about to say he's like Miller Lite, and then I realized, actually there's something else called that. But no, he has an element of Miller, part of Miller's consciousness and his memories are still accessible to the Protomolecule. Yeah, I think this is mostly the case where the Protomolecule, it's probably just our choices are Miller and Julie Mao, and, we might as well just go with Miller. I guess Holden is just sort of the chosen one for them, because they're probably just thinking, okay, who is someone who has been around us, has some experience, and actually seems to have, some element of nuance that's just not going to run around and just being all over the place.
Well, also, I think that the Protomolecule feels that they can draw him in.
Yeah.
Because if Miller showed up and started talking to Alex, Alex may not be as willing to go.
Yeah.
Or Amos, who's going to be like, no, I'm just going to space Miller.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for it would be Holden because I think Holden has at least this ability to see things in a lot of different ways, and also
and they experienced Eros together. They were both there when everything was going down. They both had the radiation. They went through that, and they saw what was happening. As much as they can kind of be a thorn in each other's sides, they have something, a connection together that nobody else has.
Yeah, I think he is sort of the perfect vessel that the Protomolecule has to deliver whatever this message is. And he's enough of a leader that I think maybe the Protomolecule, I don't know how it thinks, but maybe it's sort of like people will listen to Holden because Amos has already listened to Holden. And as we know, listening is not always Amos's strong suit.
No, but can we talk about that little conversation that he had with Alex? Man, that was dark. When he was talking about that he lost his fear when he was 5, the idea that his little soul was broken that young really hurt me. I felt so bad. And then he started to get even darker with basically like, don't worry, Alex, we'll be suicide murder buddies if everything goes, sideways. It's just like, this is the weirdest conversation I've ever heard.
This is Amos being sentimental. This is him like trying to be like, that's all right, man. We're going to go out of this together.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Can someone go to Ganymede immediately and find Prax? Because somebody needs to give Amos a hug.
Yes, and stop this pact.
Yeah, this is not going well. But I mean, it's on brand for Amos.
Absolutely it is.
So, absolutely. I mean, I have to at least say that. I mean, can we just talk about how cool this, like, proto chamber was that Holden was in?
Very cool. Good job, special effects team. This looked really awesome. The whole thing, even just going down the corridors and then getting to the room, like, this was really cool.
I like to imagine sometimes when I'm watching things, it's like, okay, if I was on a set tour for The Expanse, like, what sets would I want to go to? I mean, obviously, I want to sit in the chair on the row seat so I can be the captain, which would not bode well for anyone on the ship. But I want to do that, and then I want to go to the proto chamber because that was just all like weird, and it just felt. It felt almost like sacred, like it was almost like a religious experience being there. Yeah,
which is why when the Martians came in and that guy's like, I have a great idea, let's throw a grenade in here. I was just like, oh, what is happening? And I totally understand that that's probably how they were trained. Oh, the bullets aren't working, let's go bigger, grenade, tank, whatever's next. And that turned into a disassembly.
Well, I'll put it like this. At first I was like, okay, what's this idiot doing? But then I started to think about it, and I was just like, you know what? If I was like playing a shooting game and I was in here, I would be doing all of the same things. I would be that idiot where I would be like, okay, my bullets didn't work, so I'm going to throw a grenade and see what happens. Then I'm going to pull out the rocket launcher. And it's just sort of like, it makes sense. Also, I think we saw a new form of human mush kind of come about because of all of this.
Yeah, kind of.
The Protomolecule chamber clearly has a life of its own.
Yes, and it likes to pull people apart.
Yeah, this was not good.
You have to have respect in there.
Yeah, clearly, there are very specific rules, and this is a chamber that will actually eat you alive and destroy you. But it was still cool to be there. And then also we have Bobby Draper making a comeback.
Yeah.
Not exactly the sort of comeback I expected, but...
No, but it's nice to see that her world experience is still part of her. She hasn't just been reinstated and is back the way that we first met her. Rah, Mars, down with Earth, they're the enemies. Yeah. She has a very different worldview now, so when she's going into situations... It's not just let's go in and throw a grenade. It's okay, we're gonna go about this another way. There is other ways to go about things, and that's cool.
Totally. I mean, and if this was season 2 Bobby, let's make it clear. Bobby Draper would be dead right now because Bobby would have thrown the grenade, and then we would have Mush Bobby, and then we would be out another character. So good on you, Bobby. You have learned, you have evolved. Granted, you didn't exactly get what you want, and I don't know what's going to happen to you now.
I don't think anybody's getting what they want.
No, nobody really seems to be getting anything at them. I mean, even people, like Anna, who's on the ship, and she's just sort of, traveling with the UNN and everything. She's getting this discovery, but then it's just sort of like, oh yeah, you're so transfixed on like the magnificence of where you are that you kind of miss something pretty important right in front of you.
Yeah, she's really not getting what she wants because she did miss what was going on with this guy. And there was a moment there when he was in the room right before he committed suicide that I actually was starting to wonder if he was like another plant or something. Just the way that he was looking around and searching for something. I just wasn't sure exactly where it was going, if it was going to go this the way that it went, or if all of a sudden there was going to be like a blue streak that went through his face or something, and all of a sudden, boom, there's another giant problem going on.
Yeah, I mean, instead we just sort of get kind of I don't want to say it was a small story, but it was much more of like a personal story where here is someone who Anna could have potentially helped. She didn't. This person is now dead, and she has to sort of figure out what to do with that.
Well, and I also think it's just an important element for me watching the show. I'm surprised that it took this long to get to something like this. Yeah. This is such an intense situation that's going on. Nobody knows what is going on. They just know that millions of people are dying, and then a bunch of other people are being brought into this ring, and we're absorbed into Eros, and all these horrible things are happening. We've seen space madness going on at the beginning of the show. This makes sense that this would happen. So even though it was difficult to watch happen, it makes sense for this to be in the show.
Yeah. It makes sense, and it makes sense that, Anna's not going to be perfect, and I don't think they need to establish her as some sort of, like, model figure all the time, because I think she's getting kind of caught up in a little bit of the hype herself. Here are these people on the brink of discovering something big or potentially dangerous, and you miss the forest of the trees, and that seems to have been what happened here.
Yeah.
And I mean, it also seems to be something that is kind of turning up in other spots as well, because here you also have, Jean-Pierre Mel's daughter on this ship, and nobody's really seeing her other than Tilly, who just so happens to know her from the past.
Yeah, and now Anna has given her the wonderful advice to go and help, and she obviously doesn't know what she's sending Tilly off to do, but she thinks that after what she just did by not helping, that now sending someone off to help is now the right thing to do, and it is not the right thing to do. Even though it seems like Tilly actually had good intentions with this. She thinks she's in hiding. Hey, let me help you out. Like, we can get you a good lawyer and get you through this. You're not to blame for this, for what your dad did. We'll get through it together. Actually trying to be a friend.
Yeah.
Obviously, she is missing the mark, and she doesn't understand why she's there in the first place. But
no, she doesn't know that this is a revenge plot. She also doesn't know that, ultimately we're dealing with someone here in Melba. I know she's getting so many different names at this point, but that she basically has like some Space Hulk thing going on where she gets angry and then she does. It felt like she was about to charge up to do something pretty terrible, too.
Yeah, and then everything just kind of went kaplowy.
Yeah, so everyone is spared for now, but maybe not forever. I mean, I think this is clearly something that was put into this show for a reason, so I don't exactly think that we're at the end of it now. Let's also now talk about how, Ashford, you're not getting the ship.
No, Ashford cannot get the ship. Drummer needs to remain as the captain. She is the right choice to run the behemoth. She can't be taken down. I will be really pissed off if she's taken down. I understand what he's trying to do and why he wants to be the captain, but I love that Drummer can see what he's doing. Yeah. She knows that he's kind of planting these little seeds in front of everyone, and then later being like, no, you must respect your captain. She sees everything. And that is why she is the right captain for this ship.
Can I also send a message to Diogo?
Yeah.
Go back to listening to your music or something here. Go back to help Anderson Dawes some more with your, I'm Team Ashford. Okay, you know what? I don't know that guy that well. I know Drummer was shot, and Drummer proceeded to then work out after she was shot. That is a level of determination that I do not have, and I think that is probably questionable medically, but also probably captain material.
Well, she's also just so perceptive, and I think that definitely is captain material, and she's willing to make the hard choices, like we saw that she was ready, and fired on the Rossi, and she, as much as I don't like it, because I don't want to see anybody in the Rossi get blown to pieces, that was her only choice. There was no other choice for her. She will make the hard choices. She's perceptive. She's strong. There is no one else. Sorry, Ashford, but you're just not the guy.
Yeah, go find your own ship. But, well, anyway, we'll see what happens there. I mean, there may be some more development, but I mean, clearly we're at an exciting point in the Expanse, and there's not exactly a lot of Season 3 left over to explore.
Yeah, there's only a couple episodes left.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the real question I have here as we wrap up is, Holden has now seen things, or at least that's how I interpret it, via the Protomolecule. Yep. Has the real Proto-Man been in front of us all along? Is it James Holden?
No, here we go.
Okay, no, I'm not going to go down this messing with you. All right.
No, but a lot of other things you said superpowers, and I was like, this is not going to be a thing. How can this be a thing? We're not watching, Arrow or some Flash or something.
Well, okay, here's the thing, though. If I keep getting predictions right then clearly I'm in the wrong line of work, and I just need to go to start, putting in picks on sports games or something, but,
So maybe Holden is, I'm just going to jump on your ship now because,
great.
One ring to rule them all, and here we are, and, superpowers, and I'm like, yeah, no, this isn't the Flash. Yes, it is. So, yes, you're right. He is the Proto-Man.
Okay.
I'm here
with
you.
The Proto-Man, the Proto-Myth, the Proto-Legend, that is James Holden.
That's right.
All right, well, we'll be back soon to discuss episode 11, but now, let us know what you thought about this crazy ending when it first aired in the comments, and if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking that link in the description to the Carter Matt store, and we'll see you here next time.